Hey y'all, this is AL Think Madame. Look, I know I look different from the last video y'all saw me put up because I put this lip stuff on, but if I start not really caring about how I look, like if it's looking a little bit like too beyond extra or whatever for me, I'm gonna take it off. So that's just a disclaimer. So I apologize in advance if y'all don't like it, but I just wanted to see what I was looking like with this on because I don't really wear black all that often, but when I do, I be feeling, I don't know. I don't know, but anyway, y'all, this is the recap review for the family business. Y'all, I know I tried to do it the last time, but I couldn't help it. Sometimes I feel like I need to let y'all know who these people are. So I figured let me just do a video for that, especially for the people who don't know and they might be interested because they might know some of these people. I knew like 99% of the people already beforehand. So that's what drew me in. I already knew, I already knew their resume. I already knew I was going to live for them. So I was just like, shoot, ain't no way y'all gonna get on here and disappoint me. Y'all don't usually disappoint me in other things that y'all are in. And I mean, they have been like, at times there have been low budget stuff they've been in and I live for their performance. So I'm like, I don't think you're gonna disappoint me. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So y'all, it starts out with London and her husband, Harris, literally brawling, punching each other. And I'm tired, y'all. Harris is trash. I'm like, for you to be so small, you always out here doing the most. Like, he has been beating her for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm just like, all she does is whatever she feels she needs to do for you. She's had your children. Like, what is it that makes you just want to go crazy and beat her? And this is what kills me. You doing the most, sir. Y'all live in her parents' house. This is a Greenleaf type situation where most of these kids live with the parents. And I mean, they don't have to because they have money. This family is a drug enterprise type of situation. Like, very successful black people. I'm not trying to push drugs and all of that. I'm just saying it is what it is for this TV show. They are in high demand for a product that they sell. We will get into that a little bit later on, especially for those of y'all who don't know what it is that they sell out here. And it's a lot. It's a lot of things. They're very rich. So anyway, they going back and forth, and she got tired. She pulled a gun on him, and basically he's really reliving what has happened to him because this is all a dream. He has nightmares of her attempting to kill her. And their daughter, oh my gosh. I forgot her name just that quick. Starts with an M. Mariah, I think. She runs in, and I think that's the only thing saved his life, is that she ran in while she had a gun pulled out on him because she was tired. Like, she finally had reached her breaking point. And I was ready for her to kill him. I understand that he works for her family, but whatever. I'm sorry. You ain't finna keep on destroying my peace. In fact, you gonna be here. Me and the kids gonna be all right. I'm just tired, y'all. Anyway, so he awakes from this nightmare, and she's just standing up, like just looking at him. She was like, "Oh, what you doing? You have another nightmare about me killing you?" Y'all, she done made him breakfast, and he's scared to eat it because she already told him, you ain't gotta, worry about how you gonna get killed because there are so many different ways to kill some person, anybody in their sleep. And she was like, "Oh, I made some pancakes for you." And he was like, "I don't want no pancakes." Y'all, she continuously tries to make stuff for him the whole time. I don't even know if she's actually poisoning the food or whatever, but he ain't trying to eat nothing. So anyway, y'all, Charlotte and Elsie are in the house, and they are looking outside, and they're watching their grandson, Nevada, have a moment with his mama. His mama, Consuela, does the most. I don't know if y'all know who Consuela is. But yeah, Consuela be doing the most out here in these streets. But they're having a moment, and she actually tried to kill them last season. She tried to do a lot last season, and the only thing saved her and the only thing that saved them was the fact that their grandson is her son. Y'all, I was like, wait a minute, I'm about to say it wrong. What is it? But yeah, but that's the only thing that saved everybody in that situation. Y'all, it's a lot. And a DNA test has been taken. They literally are blood related to this heifer. She do the most. I'm just saying it is what it is, y'all. Anyway, I have to bring this up, even though he ain't on the show no more. I don't care. Her husband was this man named Alejandro, who I lived for when he was on Sons of Anarchy, and he was none other than. Y'all gotta give me a moment. Alvarez. Do y'all know Alvarez from Sons of Anarchy? Y'all don't understand. When this man first came on the screen, first season, y'all, I screamed like I live for Alvarez. He is everything. He is even in the new spinoff of this show, of Sons of Anarchy or whatever, y'all. That show is everything. Y'all gonna put some respect on Alvarez. Let me stop. Okay, so anyway, so she ends up getting a phone call. She has a female henchwoman, as I want to call her, and she was like, you got a phone call. And so she excused herself from her son. Was like, I gotta take this with me, I'll be back. So she takes a phone call. She's on the phone with this dude named y'all, I'm about to say the name wrong, Ricardo, I think. And she's trying to let him know, you owe me money, because a lot of people owe her husband money, and her husband is deceased. She killed him because she wanted all this power. She had him set up. She did the most. Her husband was very much so respected, just like Alvarez in Sons of Anarchy. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all understand. Alvarez is everything. So anyway, the man on the phone with her was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not finna put no respect on your name. You need to put your husband on the phone. Apparently, a lot of people don't know that he's deceased, or they are like really like throwing jabs at her, like, oh, well, put your husband on the phone. I, put some respect on his name, but who are you? That man read her and told her that she is an overpriced bed warmer. I was like, sir, what we not gonna do with this? And so, she's like, look, you owe me money. And he was like, I don't owe you nothing. I owe your husband money. Now put him on the phone. And we all know that can't happen. So anyway, y'all, moving on. Paris and is outside waiting on her sister to come out of this building. We learned that this is a therapist's office, but of course, in typical Sasha fashion, she was screwing someone. She was not getting therapy. She was getting sexual healing. That's what she was getting. Y'all, look, and I got my time, like, y'all, I had to pause. Y'all don't understand. Almost every scene I had to pause because the most was going on. Look, I had to pause this scene because, girl, y'all, my bae, Andre Hall was the person she was screwing. If you don't know who Andre Hall is, how dare you? Okay, so Andre Hall is this actor who I first saw, at least if he was out before that. I first remember him being the ditzy son in Tyler Perry's Love Thy Neighbor, and he has moments where he has been in If Loving You Is Loving You, not If Loving You Is Wrong, in The Haves and the Have-Nots as like this security Secret Service agent or whatever. Y'all, I didn't even realize that was him until like almost the last time he appeared, because they had him in this unit, or his hair was done weird or whatever. I don't know. And he had these glasses on, but he fine. Fun fact. There was this dude that I used to work with when I worked this part-time job, right? He is fine. Y'all, if I ever had to think of a celebrity, so to speak, that he looks like, he favors him, but like 20 times finer. And it's like, how's way? But yeah, the dude lived for me, and it just went from him just staring at me, letting it be known that he lived for me. And then like, as they got closer to the time that I was going to depart from there and be done with that, he would make a little small talk with me or whatever. But like, he would like smile from ear to ear. Like he was so sweet. Like, you would think somebody as fine as he is, he would be uppity and wouldn't deal with nobody or whatever. But y'all, he would talk to any and everybody. He was cool with people who you would think he would probably look down on. Dude was down to earth, real cool. But he fine as I don't know what. But Andre is so fine. Y'all need to look him up on social media. I think his Instagram is Andre Hall. But he everything. He fine. But he was the one who Sasha was screwing. Y'all, I'm sorry. I had to talk about Bae. He fine. Sorry, I had to do that. But anyway. So Paris was waiting outside. She was like, it took you long enough. I texted you an hour ago. And so she was like, look, I was in there having my therapy session. He really works. Like, therapy really works because, you know, had this not been working for me, I would have had a completely different reaction to you. And I'm like, girl, you just had some sexual healing. And that's why you were so mellowed out in this moment and so here for anything. So they about to ride out. They got some errands to run. And for whatever reason, Junior, their brother, is following them. Junior, had to put it down. Look, Junior is so fine. Whew, if y'all saw my video before this, y'all already understand. Y'all need to Google him if you don't know who I'm talking about. He done lost weight. He's still big and fine, and he just, I'm just like, how you look better as time progresses? Some people, I'm just like, what y'all doing? And I do want to know whatever his regimen is, because he's fine. Y'all, I'm sorry again for going off on a tangent, but Junior is fine. So he following them, and he on the phone with his brother Orlando, who is another person that's fine for no reason. Lord have mercy. And Orlando has been going all the way off. Last season, things went sideways with this woman who he met, and he's been in his feelings ever since. The woman ended up pregnant, and like, it's just a lot. Go back and watch my recaps and reviews and things on this show, because I did it first season from week to week when it was coming out. And yeah, it's been almost 2 years. I didn't even think this show was coming back. But yeah, he on the phone with him, and he going off because he feels as though Junior is not focused since he got this girlfriend. Y'all, the girlfriend is everything in real life. I don't know why they never put her like for real on the little cast list. I don't know why. She everything. She's been in like major movies and all this other stuff, but she like thick. And she for real is everything. She is everything. But yeah, y'all. She's a nurse on this show. But for whatever reason, she has been coming along with Junior. Like Junior is just, I'm like, girl, I understand why you going out with him. He big, fine, and he can protect you if something go down. Like he lives for her. Like he don't play no games when it comes to her. Sonya is not to be trifled with. Do not try Sonya, because Junior is gonna set it off. But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. For whatever reason, Christian Keys' character, he is following him and like keeping up surveillance on Junior, and I'm like, Now, first season, he was interested in Paris and all of that. And y'all, I don't know what his deal is. When I looked him up, they made it seem like he was not even gonna be on here anymore. So I was confused as to why we were seeing him. So anyway, y'all, it's just a lot going on. So yeah, Sebastian is back. I don't know if y'all ever seen, dang it, what's the name of that show? It was a show that Lisa Ray was in. It was produced, it was like, one of the producers was Queen Latifah, but it was a show that was on VH1, and then they ended up taking it over to BET, but it had Lisa Ray in it. There was a lot of other people in it that we know, but the dude Sebastian was in that show, and he played like this fashion designer, a gay fashion designer or whatever. He's on this show playing a man named Sebastian. He do the most. He is like a club owner, club promoter, or whatever. Very, very popular in Miami. And he is here because there's going to be a meeting being held on the family's boat, their yacht, or whatever you want to say, the yacht house, the boat house, whatever. And a lot of people have congregated because they're meeting up, more than likely to discuss the product that the Duncan family is selling. So yeah, as soon as I saw him walk in, I said, oh, it's gonna be some bull. And then that's another person that for whatever reason, they didn't have him updated as being someone who's gonna be highlighted on this show in 2020. They literally still have like 2018 up there for him too. Anyway, so Sasha and Paris showed up to this man's house. This man was having sex with some married woman, and once they realized what was going on, of course, they stopped, and they looking like, look, what you're not finna do is reach for a gun and think you're gonna get us. Think again. They are looking for the product, which is their product, or the money that it costs in order to have that product, which is like, I think $100,000. This fool said that he lost all of the money. How you lose $100,000 in a poker game? What kind of high stake poker game was this? You're doing the most. And he said he ain't got the product, so he ain't got nothing. So The twin brother, the Paris Rio, came from out of nowhere too. And everybody tied in their spirit. Ain't nobody trying to hear his excuses. Talking about I ain't got nothing. You gonna come up off of something today. So Paris and Sasha have their guns drawn on the both of them. And Rio came over and he started recording them and was like, what we're gonna do is this. And Sasha was like, oh, well, even in this video, I can clearly tell that she is the wife of some rich gangster or whatever he is, some dude, like some rich dude or whatever. You could tell she was some housewife. But y'all, she had this lip filler stuff in her lips. She looked like a man. I was like, oh no. But anyway, this heifer had paid him $5,000 to sleep with her, and she had $1,000 on her as just spending money just in case she stopped somewhere and want to get some Starbucks or I don't know, something on the way home or whatever. Apparently her husband ain't giving it up. I don't know if her husband ultimately is like an older sugar daddy or whatever. We might find out who he is later on in life. But yeah, they was like, what you gonna do is come up off of the money or the product. And but yeah, Sasha was like, well, I can identify you just fine in this video and tell that you are the wife of whoever the person is. And so it got to the point they were like, oh, well, since apparently this dude has money, like a whole lot of money. With that being the case, y'all, excuse me, they're looking like, okay, what we finna do is we finna go find him. We already know kind of the places that he hang out in, and we can go ahead and, we know he will pay a big amount of money for this information. So we ain't really worried about that. We're finna go. So old boy was like, look, I think I can actually provide y'all with some information that'll be more helpful, even though I don't have the money or the drugs. This man said that he knows where to find this man who they were looking for last season, and he's the person who killed their Uncle Lou. This man's name is Michael Diamond, and ain't nobody got time. Like, their ears perked up when they heard that. So they was like, oh, okay, we see what it is. So anyway, y'all, LC has arrived. LC, Orlando, and London's husband, Harris, have arrived. And they're talking to these people who are like distributors of their drug. And the drug that family manufactures is called Heat. This drug is so amazing. It is in super duper high demand. So anyway, he was letting them know. I think Orlando, he's like the COO or whatever. CEO, COO or whatever. Eventually the daddy gonna step down. I think he did, or he is about to or whatever. But he's the one who's gonna really run it all when the daddy eventually die or decide to sit down for the most part. But they were like, starting out sometime next week, there will be a 40% increase in the product or whatever. They're gonna, ramp up production, and they're thinking this is gonna be great news to them. Man, somebody who LC has been knowing for like 30-something years was like, look, I'm gonna need 300% increase. And he was like, Sebastian, don't you agree? And Sebastian was like, well, yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all doing the most. And keep in mind, this is just their business. Only the family members are, this is their brand. They ain't cutting nobody else in on it. They have whoever they have making it, they ain't here for it. And so old boy was like, look, if y'all need help manufacturing so we can get all that we want, because I feel like we losing out on money, we missed out on millions. And they look like, okay, but if you sold all your products, how you gonna try to make it seem like you are out of money? And he was like, the money that we've missed out on is what I consider to be millions, and you're sitting on a gold mine. Man, LC looking at his son and his son-in-law like, oh my gosh, they're doing the most. But I mean, he does have a point. It is what it is. But yeah, he had to let that man know real quick, this is my family stuff, nobody else's. Ain't nobody else finna have lay a claim to none of this. So anyway, y'all, Nevada is still talking to his mama. She about to leave and go to California or somewhere on business, which is to actually go and try to retrieve this money from this man named Ricardo, because he told her that she could pull up if she want to, but she better have on something that looks really nice and befitting of a bed wench, basically. And I was like, sir, y'all, Harris, LC, and Orlando are discussing how the meeting went after the fact. And this guy rolls up with an invitation and was like, yeah. LC opens it up, and Consuela, her brother has summoned them to Mexico. It's supposed to be like other stuff involved, but you know, we all know that something else is afoot. So they kind of looking like, I don't know if we really should go like that. And old boy was like, yeah, it's in your best interest to go because it's going to be a problem if you don't. But LC was like, look, I feel like as long as we have control, that we ain't got nothing to worry about as far as the drugs are concerned. Y'all, Harris came home and his daughter was eating a cupcake and he was like, oh, okay. She was like, oh, well, you know, you got some food in the microwave wrapped up for you. He got excited because it was like steak and all this other stuff. He got real excited. He was thinking that the grandmama or the person who makes the food around there made it. The daughter quickly told him that her mama made it. And he was like, oh, no, He ain't trying to eat that, y'all. So the Duncan men are in the living room, in the next room, watching movies. And at this point, it's really just Junior and his daddy, LC. Orlando come in and he in his feelings and like he going off again on Junior because Junior was like, well, I'm just gonna have to sit this one out because he wanted to go meet up with some people to you know, get some more information about Michael Diamond, the lead that they've been given or whatever. And so he was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna sit this out. It's date night, you know, he about to watch movies with her and his daddy. He done went off. It got to the point where they arguing. LC had to tell them both to shut up and apologize to one another like it's bad. So yeah, and I mean, he really was trying to tell him, you don't need to be getting caught up with Sonya like that. You don't need to end up like me and how everything happened with me and Ruby. And I'm just like, if Sonya end up doing that, he will kill her. I'm sorry. Junior don't play that at all. Sonya better not ever try him. But anyway, y'all, London and her mama are outside talking, and eventually she asks her mama, has she ever considered getting a divorce? And she was like, no, things ain't never been that bad. Have you? And so she was like, yeah, I think about it all the time. And, you know, I've been wanting to continue to stay for the kids, but I don't know if I should. And I feel like it'll be better for me to divorce him because if I don't divorce him, I think I'm going to end up killing him. And so she was like, you know, the mama is really like shocked. Like she don't know the ins and out of their relationship. Apparently they don't be hearing the slaps and the beatings and all this other stuff that be going on. And so she's really looking dumbfounded at all this stuff that popped off. And I'm just like, Lord. She was like, well, have y'all tried counseling? Like she really trying to have a heart-to-heart for her. And, you know, initially before she even revealed this information to her mama, she was like, you know, her mama was talking about, I'm trying to think of a way to go up to your daddy and get him to follow me upstairs and rub my feet. Like the way she was saying it, you could tell that they are still very much so sexually active. They still live for one another even though they're older. And so she was like, I don't know how y'all still keep the fire after all these years. And she was like, just because there's snow on the rooftop doesn't mean there isn't fire in the furnace. I was just like, you better say that. So anyway, Orlando ended up going to this club called Hellfire. This is a place where people can go if you have $100,000 for the membership that it costs per year for you to be a part of it. Now, his Uncle Lou put him up on it, put him up on game as far as this place. This is actually where he met Ruby. And he has a lot of his men with him. And these are people who like protect them. He had a moment last year where he almost got killed. Everybody thought he was dead. Their nephew got killed. Elsie and them, their nephew got killed, and they really thought the nephew was trying to think his name in real life. Y'all know It's a Different World. Freddie Brooks, the dude Shaza. I forgot what the man name is in real life, but he light skinned. He has like reddish hair, and he has like green eyes. He's like kind of trash in real life, but I digress. Yeah, him. I don't know why I can't think of his real name. I think his real name has a D in it somewhere. I can't remember his name. But anyway, that's the nephew who got killed. He actually got himself killed because he tried to act as if he was Orlando and they killed him. And then other people found out when they tried to brag and said, oh, well, we got him killed. We did kill him because they wanted to try to hurt LC by killing somebody that was close to them, not realizing that he was perpetrating. That wasn't Orlando, and Orlando was about to get killed, and some things popped off that was able to help secure him and saved him from getting killed last season. Y'all need to watch that if you haven't seen him. I'm trying to tell y'all the show good. At least it's good to me. I don't know about nobody else is good to me. Anyway, so I almost had his name just then. I can't remember what that man's name is, but he has played in like little like TV dramas and all the other stuff. He was in Being Mary Jane at one point in time. Y'all, I cannot. I cannot. The character he played on there too. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm having these moments. Y'all, he be trying my nerves. Anyway, so the guys that were around Orlando, they are actually bodyguards. And since the family as a whole appreciates all the hard work they do for them, protecting them day in and day out, he gave everybody checks for $1 million. He already told them, pay your taxes from it, but this is something that we want to just show as appreciation for y'all risking y'all lives for us. They was here for it. I think this new dude's name is Kennedy. He gonna be in it or whatever. He was like the main one talking. And he was like, you understand, we really do appreciate this, man. You don't understand how much this means to me. But I don't know if I'm gonna like him. I don't know if he gonna like do something. It's just something about him. I don't know. Maybe that's just his personality, but I'm kind of keep my eye on him. So anyway, told them to go and enjoy themselves. Some women or whatever their, whatever they like will be provided for them, because this is the type of place where if you want a woman, a man, or a lot of women at the same time, you get whatever service that they have available for you and that you want. So he told them to go enjoy themselves and that he's not going to indulge. He wants to talk to this woman whose name is it Kelly? I forgot. Some start with a K, I think. And so he ended up talking to her one-on-one. And before he talked to her one-on-one, he was talking to some dude that was by the fireplace. And, he was like, have you tried the twins? And he had a picture of these three women, the triplets. And he had this picture of these three women. And he was like, no, I haven't had the pleasure of doing that. They had a whole conversation. And then he was called to the back to talk to old girl. So she was like, so are you still looking for Ruby? And he was just like, yeah. No, I'm not looking for her. What I am looking for is information. I'm gonna need for you the next time you come across this man, Michael Diamond, let me know. And so she was like, well, I can do that for you. I need to be able to have a visit with Vegas. Everybody lives for Vegas. Y'all already know. Well, if you don't know, because you haven't seen that video or you haven't seen the show before, Vegas is incarcerated, and he is, in real life, his name is Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White is everything. So anyway, everybody live for Michael Jai White. That is Nevada's daddy. So anyway, he was like, I think I can have that arranged. So out of nowhere, this heifer was like, well, you've already missed him. He was already here. You've already met him. And so he was like, what you mean? He was like, that man you were just talking to at the fire pit, the little fireplace, that was Michael Diamond. He was like, serious? He went out there looking for him. Of course, he has disappeared. And he's trying to, hurry him and get out of there. That man literally was just right there. So I'm like, sir. Anyway, Consuela and her female accomplice rolls up on old boy, Ricardo. She was like, run me my money. He was like, ain't no money to run you. Apparently, this man owes $625,000. And he had a hitter with him too or whatever, and made old girl, who was the hitter, to put her gun down. Well, he starts talking all this trash, and old girl had a gun in the back of her pants. And so Consuela pulled old girl's gun out and put a bullet right between his eyes and asked the dude, who I guess is like the money manager, are you got a problem? Like, what is going on here? And he was like, nah. She was like, well, from here on out, I am the majority owner of all legal and illegal things or whatever. And so it just is what it is. And she's about to go right on back to New York to see her son. Like, she's trying to be really involved. And I'm just like, okay, you're going to be a mama and a mob boss. All right, do what you do. So anyway, LC and Orlando went to Mexico for the meetup. The person who they were meeting up with, who sent the invitation, coincidentally, is Consuela's brother. If you ever saw this episode, if y'all ever saw this show before, this man is in a wheelchair, and it's because of his aunt. I'm sorry, aunt. Am I saying it right? It's the aunt. Through marriage. It is Alejandro aka, as I like to call him still, Alvarez. It's Alvarez's blood nephew. He wants revenge. He is tired of his spirit of Consuela. He feels as though she has gotten over, and he needs to avenge his uncle's murder. Well, they looking like any other time in life we would be on board with you, but we can't do that. And eventually they get around to telling him that this is your nephew or whatever. And I'm like, okay. See, this is why I'm confused. I'm like, is this her brother or is this her nephew? Like, I kept getting confused because I'm like, does he keep saying that that's his sister or that's his aunt? Y'all, I keep getting my own self confused. I don't know how. But anyway, if I'm not mistaken, he was like, oh, so you mean to tell me I have a nephew? And it's like he got kind of excited knowing that he has a 15-year-old nephew out there. So anyway, apparently it's her brother. He the brother. After him, actually saying that. Unless there's some kind of way where he's his uncle, but her sister. That might be what it is. Because I swear I get confused. Anyway, they were like, look, there has to be another way that we can work this out without her losing her life. So LC was like, look, we have a shipment of heat coming in next week. In good faith and keeping her alive. In exchange for her life, we're going to give you the whole full shipment. And that will be the way everything will be squared away because that's his mama. We love the way he is with his mama. And even though it's a strange situation, it works out for the best for everybody. And so old boy wanted to be greedy and was like, run me 2 shipments and then we have a deal. So they're going to have to try to figure that out. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, but yeah. He trying to get 2 shipments of heat. And I'm like, y'all doing a lot. Y'all, back to Consuela. I already told y'all she got tired of her spirit and, she blew old boy's brains out and that's how it ended. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this recap review of this show. If you have not watched this show before, you need to watch it and go back and watch my recap reviews on it when I did the first season and start to watch these as I upload them. Anyway, thank y'all so much for all of your love that you show me and the support. I really do appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all later.